Today we are talking about Isshin. Isshin is going to be a 3-mana Mardu creature that allows all of our permanents to double their attack triggers, which means we're going to be running a ton of creatures that allow us to produce treasures. They're going to produce us 1/1 tokens or venture us through the dungeon every single time they attack. This deck also offers a really cool top end in rabble rousing, as well as sanctuary warden to be extremely explosive on the end game or go extremely wide. There's plenty of shenanigans in today's video, so stick around for that, and also stick around to the end for the full deck breakdown and analysis at the end of the video. And in the meantime, if you want the list, it is down below in the links in the description below. And if you guys like content just like this, don't forget to hit the like button as well as the subscribe button for more content just like this. Enjoy. All right, everybody, we have a fantastic list for you guys today. This one is going to be another Isshin deck. We've made one Isshin deck in the past. When Neon Dynasty first came out, we played Isshin. It was like our second deck build we made. Card is absolutely busted. It allows us to basically double up on all of our attack triggers, which is pretty insane. This hand is definitely not keepable, especially going second. This one's a little bit better. We can drop you. Yeah. No, sorry. My brain just got short circuited there. That happens once in a while. Anyways, we've got a pretty cool build for you guys today. This thing is going to be a lot of fun. We've got double attack triggers. We got ways to venture into dungeons, creating extra 1/1s. We got some crazy over the top stuff, man, with the sanctuary warden as well as the rabble rousing. Should be a very interesting day today. Opponent goes and starts things off with an Usher of the Fallen and kicks it. Curious to see what play 2 is, if it's going to be similar or not. It's not. Okay, so we're definitely going to Vanishing versus that over the Usher of the Fallen. We have our own Adeline we intend to play, so that should be pretty cool. But I think I'm going to kick things off with a Nadar. I'm being honest, I think Nadar might be a little better here. It's big enough to defend against the Usher, and we can start gaining some life and doing some treasure stuff, which is super helpful. Every time we attack, it has vigilance, so I think it's a good attack and defensive threat. And against mono white, defense is going to be pretty key. Adeline is more of an offensive threat. But I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I just want to say a quick thank you and shout out to everyone who's watching right now. And just wanted to let you guys know, I know I touched on it a little bit last video, but if you are seeing this for the first time, this new style of video and format, it is something we are experimenting with. The shorter, quicker intros, get right into the gameplay footage. I'm hoping you guys like that stuff. We're gonna see how it goes with the analytics and see if it does any better, but we are trying something fresh and new because I felt like we were doing a little bit too much of what everyone else was doing in this field. So I wanted to be a little more creative and try something new here, something that'll make us stand out a little bit more. So hope you guys enjoyed today, man. Mono white though, doing mono white stuff. Usher the Fallen, Paladin class, Hopeful Initiate. As far as things are going though, I mean, this is not bad for us at all. And that right there is the money maker, baby. Let's go. Are we going to play? What are we going to do here? We're going to create a treasure and then scry, which is pretty good. All right. It's pretty good. It doesn't give us too many more options after we attack here. It's kind of like scry, create a treasure. That's great, but aside from that, not a whole lot we can do here. The scry was good though. Getting the land out of the way is nice. Create the treasure. I was hoping we'd have at least like 3 mana available here. Actually, no, we only need 1 mana for this to work, don't we? Interesting. I forgot about the legendary rule. Okay, let's go with red because we have double white. So we actually can Seed of the Empire or something here, which is great news. I don't see a way that they can come back and beat us though. They just weren't fast enough. They were a little too slow to the jump, and our creatures are a little too big now. And I mean, the value that we're generating is pretty wild. No attacks from our opponent. Okay, let's go with scry 2, exile top 2 cards in your library. You can play them. Maybe that's what we'll go with instead of playing the Adeline. Maybe that's what we'll do. Scry 2. Rip Apart is nice. You know, I need land too. This is good. This is good. We'll take both. And there's the scoop. I was just making sure I was reading that correctly. I was like, well, maybe we can only play one, but no, you can definitely play two there on the Mad Mage. It's been a while since I ventured into a dungeon, but man, we absolutely trounced the opponent here. And even after we hit the Rip Apart and get the free land, we then can play, let's say, another Nadar. Even if they want a double block, we could play another Nadar, or we could even drop a Fable down. Either way, they were in bad shape. GG. This deck really is phenomenal, man. It does so many cool things. It's so much fun. Isshin is a really, really broken mechanic. I wish it was in different colors, which is weird for me to say because, you know, I am the leader of the Mardu mob after all, but the card itself would have gotten such good shine in play if it was in a, you know, a 3-color scheme that's in one of the families that they have right now, because I feel like I could have got a lot more support. I would have loved to see this card get some more support, but then it might have been too broken. I don't know. Definitely gonna mulligan that. This is a little more playable because we can get into the Nadar even if we do hit another white or black source here. So I think we can keep this. I'm actually going to keep the Rabble Rousing over the Goldspan. We're closer to playing Rabble Rousing than the Goldspan currently. And Rabble Rousing is less likely to be drawn late game. Goldspan's a lot more likely. And that right there shows us exactly why. All right, hopefully it's not runes. No runes to show yet. Still only sitting on 2 lands. We threw away a 2-land hand. Let's hope we don't have to put 1/1 counters, exile the Saga, return it whenever. Okay, I think that's fine. Do we kill it? No, I'm gonna kill it. Shoot, I might regret that. That could be a really bad Vanishing Verse, but you never know. Wow, 2 Nadars, 2 Ishins, 2 Goldspan Dragons, and only 2 lands. Yeah, I'm wishing I would have used it on that instead. Unfortunate. All right, let's go with Nadar here. Nadar is going to allow us to go into a... Scry 1, create a treasure. Target. Oh, okay. Each player will lose 1 life gain less. Okay. Draw a card. Maybe I go with the Lost Mine this time. I could draw a card a little bit quicker and then... get that treasure token pretty quick, but I do want the 1/1 counter kind of. I don't know. I do need more land though, so that's got to go. Circle of Confinement, that's annoying. So this is a rune deck. Okay, I was curious, and now I'm getting confirmation now that it is definitely going to be a rune deck. Okay. I think I'm still gonna go with the Nadar play here. I'm gonna create the treasure and hopefully hit another land off the top here, and then I can get the Goldspan Dragon in. I really want that 1/1 counter though, and I have to create some goblins if I want to do that. So, unfortunate. I gotta go for the treasure instead because the mana has just been absolutely dog water at the moment. Non-existent, one would say. I could have played the Fable of the Mirror Breaker over the Paladin and then created a 2/2 that can generate treasures and then drop this next turn and create 2 treasures, but I don't know if I like that any better, honestly. Yeah, see, it would have gotten the Fable of the Mirror Breakers 2/2 would have got picked up by a Borrowed Time. We would have been screwed anyways. This way we at least have a shot, a little shot at getting the Goldspan Dragon in if we hit a land drop. Of course we don't. Of course we don't hit a land drop. We've only needed one this whole game. All right. I can drop one of these Ishings though. Maybe drop a Rabble Rousing. I don't know. It might be a little late for the Rabble Rousing. Hey, we get land. Heck yeah. Heck to the yeah, man. All right. This isn't good. This is not good. But you know what? They are out of cards in hand, so that's nice. Very nice. Let's go white. Do we go Isshin and then the double treasures will put us at 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, which isn't enough to do what we need to do, unfortunately. All right, we're gonna go Goldspan Dragon. We're gonna go over the top. I could get to 6 though and play the Sanctuary Warden. That's actually better. Okay, so now that the Goldspan Dragon's down and the treasures, you know, they count for 2 instead, we can go ahead and get down to Sanctuary Warden, which is a fantastic blocker. And it's a source of card draw, but I am gonna actually draw cards because the shield counters are not going to be very good anyways. They're just going to get eaten up by smaller creatures if they do decide to attack. So okay, maybe not. Maybe they might have been important depending on whether or not they play another enchantment here. Looks like there's no other enchantment though. That's good. All right. We'll take 3. No big deal. And now we're looking good because we got ourselves an Isshin and Rabble Rousing maybe right now because the Rabble Rousing can get us a lot of blockers. They have nothing in the air. So let's go Rabble Rousing first before we go with Isshin. And then we'll drop the Isshin on the... Ooh, that's going to be really good actually. Give me that. We might as well send the whole team here because we're going to create some treasures and we're going to get some extra bodies to block with, right? And then we can drop another big blocker. Go with Thundering Raiju. All right, so we got some bodies, some chump blocks. We should still be able to survive this, I hope, depending, of course, on what they draw. That allows them to scry 2, gain 2 life, and then it has a first strike 2/2. Not very good. They scry 2 to the bottom. We love that. It jumps them right to their attack step. Also love that. And do we take 4 here? I think so. I think we take 4 here, just go down to 2, and I mean we got a good look at actually winning this game here. Yeah, there's the scoop. As I say, we have a really good look at winning the game here. We could have dropped an Isshin there, which was going to double up our treasure tokens. We had a Vanishing Verse for some removal. We had a pretty clear shot at lethal here. They had 1 blocker. Yeah, that would have been a wrap. That would have been a wrap. GG. Back into Platinum Tier 3. We're cruising along, man. We got to Mythic late these last couple of months, so I want to see if I can kind of hopefully speed that process up this time around. I feel like my my gameplay's been getting a little bit better. Obviously, there's some misplays that are always going to happen. I've been known for misplays since day one, but do you feel like I'm playing my decks a little bit better these days? Let's see here. Opponent goes first. We have terrible mana, but great hand. I mean, do we risk it for the biscuit? I mean, if we draw 1 singular white source, we could play both of these. If we draw 1 singular red source, this becomes playable. I'm gonna try it. I mean, I'm definitely gonna get punished here for keeping this, but we're gonna try it still. And look at that, we're good to go. Didn't expect that to happen so quickly. That's a really good card that I'm gonna want to deal with, that's for sure. So I'll probably Vanishing Verse that, but I'll do it later. As of right now, we're gonna go with the Adventurer. Gonna need to look to find a treasure off of the Adventurer, so we'll probably go with the hold on, let me attack in here. We'll probably go with the Lost Mine because it's the fastest way to generate a treasure, which is kind of important at the moment. And being able to scry away an Adeline there feels really nice. This needs 4 mana to sacrifice itself, so no worries there. Still looking for a red source off the top. Even a white source would be fine. I can get an Adeline in at least. All right, so that's going to create a citizen token, and then you sacrifice it to add mana. And you can draw 3 cards if you go 5 colors. Are they 5 colors? Not yet. Right now they're just Jund, but Let's just go here now. Get rid of this. This right here can end a game. I've got a deck built around this card. It can end a game really, really easily. So getting rid of it's going to be kind of important. I didn't expect the Deadly Dispute, that's for sure. That is why you play your card at last second when they're tapped out. I really didn't expect that. Unfortunate. All right. So we can get a treasure now and then get the Fable down. That's probably going to be the play. Venture into the dungeon. Got ourselves a treasure. They don't block, which is to be expected. Let's go with the old Fable. That way we can spit out more treasures and get even more value. That's if we can attack in, of course. I mean, I'm still probably going to send it with the 2/2 either way. And then on top of that too, we get to discard and draw some cards, which I'm sure we can find them that way. There's an argument for every card in my hand, though, on why I should keep it. I think Adeline makes the least amount of sense, which is kind of crazy. A red source, we like that. What do we get rid of here? I'm gonna be playing this on this turn. I mean, we don't have to get rid of anything, but I do think we're gonna be a little slow to play this. Nadar does get us, you know, I don't know, it's hard to say. Okay, well, there you go. There you go, problem solved. Alright, definitely going to attack here. Attack in, Goblin, do your thing, generate us another treasure, get us to our Sanctuary Warden. Sanctuary Warden will come in, we'll hopefully draw into another red source here. That way we can get Goldspan down instantly next turn. We're looking to get an Isshin out here though, man. Isshin with all this stuff and get some attack triggers going. That's the goal. That's not bad, because clearly they want to do this and, you know, draw 3 cards at some point in the game, which we don't want them doing. Right now we're just seeing Jund colors though. A lot of treasures obviously though, so. Alright, there we go. They're drawing some cards here. Their hand has now been refreshed and refueled, but I still haven't seen anything from our opponent that seems super threatening. I haven't seen any sort of signs of a win con or anything like that, so. Alright. Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Alright. Do I go Nadar or do I go Adeline? Because now we're at a point where we are kind of aggressive, right? Like, Lost Mine will get us what? 1 life game. Okay. Not much. Yeah, let's go with the I could do this though and still hold up open Rip Apart. I don't think I want to play Rip Apart right now though. This is fine. Adeline is totally fine. Get in there with everybody. Create a treasure token again. We can still drop Nadar now too because of the treasure generation, so that's fine. Vanishing Verse, love that. Love that. We got how many creatures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creatures. Make it 8. So I mean, we're getting pretty close. Even if we find ourselves the rabble rousing, that'd be great. All right, so we're looking at gaining some life here, dealing some damage. Opponents at 6 life, but they got so many cards in hand. It could be any sort of sweeper. I mean, they could be running like Shadow's Verdict, which I would be highly surprised if that's the case. But they could be running some sort of sweeper spells. You know, Judd runs some, you know, removal, obviously. But spot removal is not going to get the job done. They're a little too far behind on spot removal. Based on the fact that they just cycled out of land, I've got to imagine this game's pretty much over. Yeah, that's going to be game. That's gonna be game. We get into Goldspan Dragon if we hit a red source, and then Kiki Jiki copies it. That's game. I could also Reflection of Kiki Jiki copy the Sanctuary Warden and draw 2 more cards, which is pretty busted. That combo is really nuts. I've done that a few times, but good game. On to the next one. All right, that was a good game, man. That was pretty clean. The mana base though was a little rough to get things started. This is keepable for sure. We got turn 2 interaction with Rip Apart into a Nadar. You gotta love that. Problem that I do have with this deck is that, or this hand, is that we're up against mono black. The mono black is not a fun deck to play against, especially when we're seeing some hand hate on turn 1. Yeah, this is gonna be a very unfun deck to play against, that's for sure. We don't have any sort of card draw mechanics, so gonna be rough. They take Nadar. Pretty smart choice there. I was expecting them kind of to take the Fabled Mirror Breaker, but they didn't. Love that we got a Goldspan here though, because that's gonna probably be the next card to go, I would imagine. If I had to drop a card, it'd be you, obviously, right? That's nice. They didn't play any spells either. Oh, I love that. Love that. All right, Fable's coming down first because we need the treasures, so we can get down the like the rabble rousing quickly, because the rabble rousing's free cards, and card advantage is going to be very important here. All right, none of these are super threatening. Don't think we're gonna need any removal. And then what's the real card we're giving up here? Goldspan or Nadar. If we attack in this next turn and we draw a card, we can get the Goldspan down, but I don't think we're playing Goldspan anytime soon, if I'm being honest. That's super unfortunate. Triumphant Adventure is not bad. Let's go ahead and hopefully hit a land here. Nope. Okay. We do get a treasure though. Let's go for the Nadar. Nadar comes in. Let's go here. There's a lot more card advantage, I think, in this play over the other one. Attack in. See what they want to do with the blocks. They could trade the Expert out for the 2/2 Goblin if they double block with both the Expert and the Disciple, but I still think that's fine. We needed the treasures really badly. But they just let me bounce it off of the wall, which is definitely a net positive for us. All right, so we do need one more land. If we can get one more land, we can get the rabble rousing in and attack in, creating the 2 more creatures, which is really what we need. The saving grace here is the fact that our opponent is still on 2 mana. That's huge. They kept a very bad hand, so hopefully it comes back to bite them in the butt. All right. Of course we get a land, but it's the one that that comes in tapped. I love that. Love that. Let's scry 1. Hopefully something good. Raiju, not terrible, but I don't think we want that right now, to be honest. I think we could do a little bit better. I think I'm going to save the rabble rousing for next turn. I think I'm going to drop in the Triumphant Adventurer right now. Just kind of do more of a setup play. Do a bit of a setup play here. Reflection of Kiki Jiki next turn. Plus rabble rousing should get us to 10. Never mind, they decided they are going to kill the 2/2 Goblin now. So maybe the rabble rousing is the play. All right, let's give it a shot here. Let's give it a shot. Let it resolve, and then what are we gonna grab? Sanctuary Warden's the obvious play, I think. At least we could play the Triumphant Adventurer and then copy with Kiki Jiki right away, getting another trigger into the dungeon. Both of us are struggling really hard with mana, but I'm only struggling mostly with mana because our opponent's been discarding everything out of my hand. They flunked that. That's unfortunate. Kind of needed that. So we are going to create a treasure token here, and then we could get a gold span down, but I don't go straight in for an attack, unfortunately. So the treasure going to be a little bit irrelevant for the initial gold span. All right, that's fine. They block, we just bounce off of each other, which is fine to get gold span in. Starting next turn, we can start swinging in for 3, which will create another 3/1/1 tokens for us, getting closer to the Sanctuary Warden, which once it cracks, we get to do some card draws finally. They say hello. I'm guessing they're saying hello as in like, hello, where are my lands? And I don't blame them. That's magic in a nutshell sometimes. That's pretty bad though. I mean, we're on like turn 7 and they're still on 2 mana. Been there though. Been there. Not fun. All right, we do get a treasure off that. That's fine, I guess. Not the best, but it's fine. Adeline's pretty cool. Do I want to start doubling down on this though? Nah, I think Adeline's fine. Let's scry 2. Land is important. I don't think the Fable's that important though. So we'll draw land next turn, which is great. That puts us at how many? 4, 5, 6 creatures. All right, we go back down from 6 creatures to 4. And we'll make it 5 here with the Adventurer. We're going to get our land drop next turn, which is great. And then when we attack in with the Nadar and the Triumphant Adventurer, we're going to get 2 more cards off the top of our deck because of the next room. And then after that, we get a free spell. So I'm hoping that'll do everything we need to do. What a grindy game this is turning out to be, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go for 5 here and make it a free Sanctuary Warden, but I think I'd rather just go in here and get the next 2 cards off the top of our deck and be able to cast them with the mana that we have. Nice. Nice. I can't cast that, unfortunately. All right, we scry 3. We don't need another Isshin. We don't need that. Another land is fine though. We definitely need more land. And we're looking really good now. Really good. All right, there's no doubt in my mind now that we get a free rabble-rousing spell here off the Hideaway on this next turn. Opponents still didn't hit their 3rd land drop. Feels bad. Blood Chief's Thirst on the Adventurer, that's fine as long as we still have the Nadar. All right, and here's where we kind of pop off here. There's nothing our opponent can really do. This is GG's. We got the rabble rousing. It's about to pop off. We get the free spell from the Mad Wizard's Lair. So let's see what we get for free here. Nothing, of course. And let's go ahead and start it all over. Of course, there's all the mana that we've been looking for. And we get a free Sanctuary Warden, which we could take a 1/1 counter off of. Nice. And there's the game. There's the game. A little bit of a beatdown, unfortunately, for our opponent there, not hitting their lands. But all right, there we go. That was a good game. I always feel bad about those ones. I don't really like winning those games. They're a little tough. Because I've been on the receiving end of those games, and they're not fun, man. When you're just sitting there, just praying that your deck produces a land. Let's see here. We've got a. If we find a white source, we have a fantastic hand, but we can't gamble on that. We cannot gamble on that. We'll keep this though. We saw how good Nadar was over the Adeline. It's just a little bit more of a versatile card, in my opinion, as far as defensively. If our opponent's being aggressive, we're gonna want the Nadar over the Adeline. What is this now? It says base camp. Enters the battlefield tapped. Add mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast Cleric, Rogue, Wizard. Okay, so this is going to be a party deck. Party deck, huh? All right, we're going to double up on the treasures with the Isshin. This should go really well. This game starting out because we have a Goblin coming in. I don't think the party system is going to want to, do any sort of removal, especially on our Goblin. All right. Oh, Vanishing Verse off the top is nice. We'll double down on those. Let's get some more mana. Nice. We get some lands. I was gonna go Isshin here, but instead I think I'm gonna go Vanishing Verse on this. That way I don't lose my my goblin, because my goblin's just gonna keep spitting out treasures, right? And let's go with the Nadar, and then that way next turn, I know I keep saying this, that's the problem I'm having with Isshin here, is that it always seems like next turn it's gonna go off. But as long as they don't play another big Righteous Valkyrie, even if they do, that's fine. But I'm hoping to get Isshin down, get 2 treasures, 2 triggers into the dungeon, which, looking at this, looks like we're gonna do a treasure token, or we could do target creature can't attack until next turn. Which one do we want to do? I'm not sure. Not sure, but we do need both treasures here, that's for sure. I think I'm gonna go for a treasure token here. Rip Apart is... it's okay. It's okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep it. All right. What you got for me? You got any blocks? Probably, right? You're just gonna gain the 3 life, make that block. Seems like a pretty simple play to me. The good news is Rabble Rousing gets to come down next turn. Once Rabble Rousing comes down, hopefully we get a really big banger of a spell, and then we attack in. I mean, Reflection of Kiki Jiki can get a little bit crazy. No, not really, because these are both legendary creatures. We'll see. All right, they attack in with the... okay, that seems strange. That seems very strange. They got a burn spell, maybe? They are running red. Okay, that was strange. But that was about as strange as it gets. All right, let's go ahead and play the Rabble Rousing in here. And what do we want to play for free? This is not great. I guess we'll go for the Rip Apart. Makes the most sense, I suppose. All right, let's get rid of that. Excuse me, man. Had to clear my throat there. I don't know what the heck was going on. All right, Rabble Rousing is going to create, double the tokens, which is really, really good. Goldspan Dragon, yes, please. Let's see here. Let's do the skeletons. That'll definitely get us our free Rip Apart here. And now, I mean, look at that. Like, Isshin just goes absolutely insane. Rabble Rousing already going off. This game is pretty much over. I guess I shouldn't have kept the Goldspan Dragon there if we were not going to have the mana to cast it, right? Let's attack in here and see what free spell we get. Scry 3. See what we get for free here. I'm gonna read this one more time. You may cast one of them without paying its mana cost, so any card. No, I might play the Raiju. This is a multicolored spell, so the Vanishing Verse does not work. So let's get the Raiju just in case. Let's get it down. All right, we got 22 2/2s. Oh man, just crazy, just absolutely crazy. Absolutely busted, man. Just crazy. Very good game. All right, I genuinely can't get enough of this deck. We're gonna try it one more time. One more time for the road. I hope you guys are enjoying today's video, man. This has been fun. These last couple of weeks of giving you guys 5 videos a week, man, has been a lot of fun. If you guys haven't already, definitely put on that notification bell so you're notified whenever we post a video, because we've been pumping them out pretty regularly these days, and been really happy about that. Seeing the channel grow like crazy these last couple of days, these last couple of weeks, thanks to you guys and all the support you've been giving me with the subs and whatnot. So I do appreciate everybody who has hit that sub button so very much. Isshin slowly becoming one of my favorite cards. I mean, it always kind of has been one of my favorite cards. It's just in a spot where it's not like, it's not really viable in most cases. This is by no means a tier 1 deck. It's not gonna just, you know, run me up to mythic or anything, but you will collect a few wins here and there, and we're on a pretty solid run right now with it. So I mean, I couldn't be any happier right now. But all right, we get an iteration. They've foretold something, which means this could be very likely a mill deck. Foretelling things in red and blue is always tricky. It could be a number of things, but a lot of the times it's galvanic iteration. I don't know. It's always tough to know. Turn 3, I think I'm gonna get aggressive here with the Adeline. They do have 1 blue mana open, 1 red mana open, but I don't think that's anything that I need to be too concerned about. Nothing to worry about here. You will let the Adeline resolve. I will let the Adeline resolve. I was trying to explain Jedi mind tricks to my 6-year-old yesterday because we were watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I was like, oh, he might do the Jedi mind trick on this guy. He should. And he's like, what is that? And I was trying to explain it to him. I'm like, he does like this thing and he gets in their head and he makes them think. And I was doing a little act out and he just thought it was so funny. And he still, I don't think, gets it. I was like, it's the Force, bro. It's the Force. He's like, Dad, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Dad. You just look weird. I don't know about you guys, but Obi-Wan Kenobi's been triggering me the last couple of episodes, man. I don't know why he's being so passive. Obviously, I know he hasn't used the Force in a while. Sorry, I'm getting all nerded out right now talking about this because it triggered me the other day watching the show how he's not really fighting back, and it's like triggering. Anyways. Anyways, that's enough Star Wars talk. Let's get back into the game. Thundering Raiju is probably going to be the play here. We have another 1 mana open, which could be another Fading Hope. If it is, that's super annoying. So with that being the case, do we play something small or no? Send it. Screw it. We send it. This is the channel for sending it, right? Here comes the Fading Hope. No, it's no Fading Hope. No Fading Hope. Very interesting. And now Adeline is well out of the range of any sort of burn mechanics. It could be play with fire. A 1 mana play that they did not choose to do. It's got to be burn with play with fire, right? Like, I would imagine. Crush the Weak doesn't hit us, so even if that's foretold cards, Crush the Weak, we're good. It could obviously be Saw It Coming. It could be Behold the Multiverse. There's a lot of options here, but I'm trying to think of the most logical. I still think it's Mill because Evolving Wilds, right? It's got to be. And there's Galvanic Iteration. Yeah, there's no doubt. All right. So it's either get him dead or die by getting milled. So time to get him dead. Let's go. Got to go super hard in the paint here. No holding back. Send the whole team. Send the whole team. We're going with the Tomb of Annihilation. It's a little more aggressive. Tomb of Annihilation. Do we get lethal here? Oh, we got lethal here. I didn't even do the math. GG. Let's go, man. No mill for you, my friend. Did we just go undefeated with this thing? I think we did. Wow. All right. Well, let's do a full deck breakdown and analysis here at the end. We'll see you guys there. Peace. We have now come to the part of the video where we are going to break the deck down in full and show you guys a full comprehensive list. But before I do that, I just want to give a huge shout out and thank you to everyone who's made it this far into the video. I do appreciate it. It helps out so much here on YouTube with the algorithm. So I want to give you guys a huge thank you, and I appreciate the support so very much. And with that being said, let's talk about today's list because it was a banger. Let me go ahead and turn my chair here a little bit. So today's list with Isshin was pretty sweet, man. It provided a lot of different things here. We stacked the early game. We stacked the early game in the 2-drop slot with a bit of removal. And the reason we did that is because when we were going through and building this deck, we didn't actually have a a ton of options for you know, the attack trigger mechanic. So if you go ahead and type in your filter when attack, that's kind of how I did it. You just type in when attack, you choose your Mardu colors. This kind of gives you everything that says any sort of you know, any sort of statement about whenever this a creature attacks, you get this whatever ability. And there are some things in here that made the initial cut. We had Sparring Regimen in the deck prior to the deck you know, finalization. This was a really cool card because it played well with Sanctuary Warden in the fact that it gave 1/1 counters, and then the Sanctuary Warden can take those 1/1 counters off and draw us more cards. But this didn't make the cut because we had a ton of 3-drops and we were very, very slow on the play. I'm sorry, no, on the draw. On the draw, we were very slow. We also tried in the Restoration of Ninjago, but if you guys notice, there's just not a lot of really good options in the 2 to 1 drop slot for this type of mechanic. There's nothing that really generates us any sort of attack benefits in the 1 and 2 drop slot that are any good or worth running. So we went ahead and decided that we'll use the early game, you know, the 2 drop slot, to run a bit of removal. And I think some of the better options we had here were a full playset of Vanishing Verse, because this card is just busted. You know, working on exiling something for 2 mana is always really, really good. But also Rip Apart was something we chose, because Rip Apart is not only just dealing damage to a creature, which is, you know, very good in itself, it also destroys target artifact or enchantment, which can be very helpful. We've been seeing a lot of runes with this deck. It's just one of those things with the magic algorithm. Whenever you build a deck, you start running into a very specific type of deck. We kept running into enchantments, and so we threw in Rip Apart, and then what do you know, all of a sudden we didn't get as many rune decks. But I thought it was a really cool universal like tool to use in the, you know, the 2-drop slot early on. And then of course we have Triumphant Adventurer, the only 2-drop creature here that generates us any sort of attack trigger value, but it's a really good one, man. This thing has Death Touch, First Strike. It's very hard, if not impossible, to block this thing unless you're running, you know, Wandering Emperor and Flash in your own First Strike. It's hard to deal with this guy, so it's just going to keep generating us more value through the dungeon. And of course Nadar and Adeline, these 2 cards, you know, what can you say other than good things about them? They work very, very well with Isshin being able to double up, you know, on the dungeon, or Adeline being able to double up the 1/1 tokens, only getting itself even bigger. And then you guys saw how good Fable is in this deck. This is probably the first deck I ran Fable in, and it worked really, really well because of the Goblin being able to create the you know, the treasures. But not only that, but we didn't actually get to use it too much. But the Reflection of Kiki Jiki being able to copy a creature at haste, when you drop down a Sanctuary Warden and you give it haste and create a second one, it can draw you cards twice for that turn, because it draws once when it enters the battlefield and once when it attacks with its haste mechanic. So you got some really good options here with the Kiki Jiki. I think this card is phenomenal. I think it's a definite keep into the deck. Obviously, we played a full set of Isshin. If you guys want this deck to be a little more competitive, definitely drop this down to 3. You don't really need 4 Ishins. I just wanted to make sure that we hit the Isshin today so we can show you guys just how that looked when actually dueling it out. We have 3 Thundering Raijus, as you saw, because it, you know, it's a good way to end the game quickly by putting 1/1 counters on things. It's also our only other way to get 1/1 counters on for the Sanctuary Warden, which is also pretty helpful. We've got 2 Rabble Rousing, 2 Sanctuary Wardens, as we talked about early in the intro, because this is going to allow us to go extremely wide. We get the free spell, obviously, and Sanctuary Warden was fantastic. It's just, this card is just so good in a lot of different shells. Been a big fan of this card. If you haven't realized, we played it in last week's video, yesterday's video as well. And then of course Goldspan Dragon, because spitting out extra treasures and each treasure being worth 2 is just bonkers. Ultimately, I think the deck played really well, obviously going undefeated, I think, and just absolutely dominated with this thing. It is really decent. I wouldn't say it's tier 1 by any means or anything close to, but this is a pretty solid shell, you know, to almost quite get us there. But as far as things I would change, like I said, I'd cut back on the Isshin by maybe 1, maybe add another Rip Apart just for that early game removal. Maybe something in here for a little more consistency on drawing cards, but I'm not sure how you're gonna, you know, really pull that off with this sort of mechanic as your synergistic game plan. Also, we didn't talk about this either, but Hive is something we can get double attack triggers on, because it can exile up to 2 cards instead of, you know, just the 1. But yeah, like I showed you guys before, if you type in win attack, if you guys want to go ahead and go through this filter, you can kind of find some really good stuff in here. There's plenty of options to go through. My way is not the highway, guys. It's not my way or the highway is what I meant to say there. Jeez, words are hard. Sparring Regimen, Ninjago, 2 cards I wouldn't mind trying to figure out how to put them in the deck, as well as maybe Graveyard Trespasser. I really wanted to put this guy in there, but it doesn't actually work the way I thought it would work, because your opponent's going to untap it and give us a card, and then they're not going to do it a second time, because they actually get the option. But yeah, there's a lot of really cool things you can do, guys. Just take a look through that list, see if you can't find some stuff that speak to you. But ultimately, I like the list and where we're sitting at right now. I'm going to keep it that way. But that will conclude today's deck breakdown. I hope you guys, again, are enjoying the new format, new content style. So let me know in the comments down below. Your guys' feedback helps out a lot. But that'll conclude today's video. We'll be back again here tomorrow, and also live stream tomorrow. So be sure to hit on that notification bell so you're notified when we go live in the evening. And yeah, that'll do it, guys. Before I get out of here, as always, huge shout out to the Mardu Mob. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys so much for being part of the Mardu Mob. You guys are the backbone of this channel, and I can't thank you guys enough. I know I say it every time, but I want to make sure I make it very clear that I appreciate each and every single one of you and everything you do for me, guys. I really do. If you guys don't know, the Mardu Mob is the membership program here on the channel, and these guys help support the channel through a monthly membership. So I got to give them a huge shout out and thanks. And if you guys want to learn more about the Mardu Mob and how to become part of it, you can hit the join button down below, or there's a link in the description. But that'll conclude today's video, guys. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. Yeah. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. Yeah. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. Yeah, MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.